Here's my closer encounter with Cameron Diaz. She's an irresistible mix of serious and outrageously funny. And did I mention those lips, those legs, that sexy laugh? But Cameron is one A-lister who hasn't gotten carried away with being gorgeous and famous. She tells it like it is.
I'm a spaz and I make fun of myself all day long, and I'm just so grateful that I actually get to make a living out of it. You know what I mean? Like, how great is that? I'm gonna be doing it anyhow. So
women are women, and the power that women possess as women is definitely the most powerful thing that they have, you know. And being a woman, you know, you're in a man's world is just that. You are a woman still. You're never going to be a man, and a man's never going to understand what it's like to be a woman. Women do things differently than men.
I don't walk into a room expecting people to treat me different just because of the way that I look, so I don't expect to get hired for a part just because of the way that I look. I'm sure I've gained, that's been an asset to me, but I also know that it's hurt me in a lot of roles that I've gone out to play because people say they think I'm too pretty. But you know, all of those things don't really matter in the end of it. What happens is that you get the jobs that you're meant to get, and you play the roles that you're supposed to, and everything happens for a reason.
But most days I feel like an ogre, you know? I may look like a princess on the days that I have to, you know, when it's my job to, you know, sort of present myself in the best polished position that I can, and fortunately I clean up well. But most of the days I'm an ogre, honestly.
We are only who we are. I mean, can't be anybody else than that. You know, I mean, you can change. There's things that you can change about yourself if you don't like them. There's work that you can do emotionally, spiritually, and physically to change those things. But that change comes from who you are. You know, it comes from the essence of you. And if you understand that essence and you understand that person and you embrace it, then you have a better chance of being happy and being fulfilled and all of those things. That's where it starts from. It doesn't come from the outside. It doesn't come from exterior. You know, it doesn't come from materialistic goods or any products that you buy or purchase or what you wear. It comes from inside.
I don't get embarrassed very easy. I'm pretty, like, you know, I can take it on. I hang out with boys, you know, I hang out with guys. So it's easy for me to sort of like take on all that gnarly stuff. I modeled for years, so that's prepared me for pretty much anything. You know, you go in, as a model, you go in and state your name, slate it, you know, you give the whole name, height, weight, everything, and then you do a little twirl and a dip and a cartwheel, and then jump back and spin forward, and you know, and then you get the job. So I was trained well.
Sitting in Shrek, we're in Cannes, and I look over at the end of the movie, and here's Antonio. Antonio's like tear, like right down.
I'm a very emotional person.
So
it's true.
I'm like, I look over, and I'm like, you're not crying, are you? He's like. he was crying, and I love it. By the way, I love that. Like all the reports that I read said that I was crying.
No.
Like people go.
Justin.
Oh, that Justin was crying. Yeah.
Justin started just miming me.
Yeah.
He hold my hand, and we both went very seriously.
He was trying to comfort you.
Actually, I don't really want to talk about my personal life. Yeah, not on that. That's not a topic that I want to sort of straighten out with the public. I don't ever read those things, and I never really pay attention to them because they really have nothing to do with my real life. So I just kind of ignore them and just let them have their time and do what I do with my own time.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. It's so negligent, and like, it's just so. I mean, I'm so lucky. This is my life. I mean, could you have a better life than this? Just to get to be ridiculous on camera and do the most silly things and make such an ass out of yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. And people are sent to you to go see it.
We're having our car wash this weekend. Last year's car wash raised $6,000.
Let's do this.
Whoa. Lauren Risman's dad called. He said we should have a car wash every weekend.